Hi, I'm Hasib Thanki and welcome to the presentation series called Intro to Individual Life Underwriting. I am going to give an overview and this is the first introductory session called Part 1. When I talk to my friends about what I do for living, life underwriting, they scratch their heads and they think, okay, you work for a life insurance company. Do you do claims? Then I laugh and I say no. Then they ask me, do you do actuarial work? And then I again say no. This shows that there is a huge opportunity out there to raise the awareness of what we do in our challenging, dynamic and rewarding life underwriting profession. Life underwriting. This presentation, before I start, let me make it very clear that this is intended for those who are about to join this life underwriting profession. And this is not something that we are going to dive deep into the water, but the intention is to get your feet wet. With that being said, let me share a couple of things. If we ask someone, let's compare the life insurance, life coverage with the auto coverage or a home coverage. For auto or home coverage, basically it boils down to you look at the make and model of the car, year, talking about a home, house, year of construction, financial checks, credit history, and couple of other pertinent info, and it's all done deal. Whereas life underwriting, life insurance coverage is very unique because you may be confronted with on your life application about admitted history of diabetes, stroke, heart attack. You may have a financial concerns, business insurance, estate planning situation. Someone could be mountain climbing, scuba diving, parachuting, hang gliding. I see even in my backyard, I can see that there are people doing parachuting and hang gliding, and I ask myself that how do I price them? So in a way, life underwriting is not something like an auto or home coverage. It is complex. It requires a lot of discipline, efforts, to understand, to digest and grasp the gist of life insurance. Before I get into the actual life underwriting, I think let me familiarize you with a couple of things. Like first and foremost, life insurance. People have that perception, and that is true, that life insurance is generally purchased so that God forbid if the the primary person who earns the bread for the entire family, if he or she dies, then the surviving members can get the benefit of death proceeds. This is true. But once you are into the life underwriting profession, you will see that life insurance can be used for multiple reasons, multi-purpose. Maybe I have taken a loan. That loan could be a personal loan, that loan could be a mortgage loan. So what if I die? Who will pay that loan? So life insurance can be purchased for loan. As we know, it can be used for income replacement. So again, it is self-explanatory. Likewise, it can be used for final or funeral expense, or it can be used to fund anything. Sometimes the case value can be used and the fund can be available for multi-purpose. Likewise, life insurance can be used for education, estate planning purpose. So bear in mind that life insurance is not something just people buy because for the death benefit proceeds. That's not the only purpose of life insurance. So something that I want you as you are joining this profession to keep in mind. Moving forward, The key document that every day you will see in your life underwriting career in this profession is what we call life app, the actual application. Behind the screen, when you see nowadays majority of the companies out in the industry are having electronic apps, we are living and working in a paperless environment. Although to jot down my notes, I am holding a piece of paper so that I capture all the essential aspects so that I don't miss out anything as we are unfolding the first session. So as I was saying, that life application is the core or the critical document that you will see. When you are reviewing the life application, behind that, lot of efforts have been put by our field partners, whether we are talking about the captive agents or whether we are talking about our brokers. The captive agents or the career agents, they represent the company they work for, whereas the brokers, they work for the customers. They represent the customers, but they work around, shop around, and they try to get the best deal from the different companies who are able to extend whatever offer that they are looking for, that they consider in their mind as a reasonable offer. So a lot of efforts have been put by these agents and brokers. They probably might have contacted hundreds of people. Out of those hundreds of people, maybe 10 may show some interest in listening to them. Out of those 10, probably 2 or 3 may actually follow up, and 1 or 2 may really sit down, fill out the life application, do the paperwork, and that application comes to you. And think this way, try to step into their shoes before you jump to the conclusion that this policy is a decline or this policy is a rated. That could mean a disaster for the agent or for the ultimate customer or for the broker in that scenario. So life application is the important document. So make sure you are doing everything that you can to come up with the best possible aggressive offer, yet not disrupting or ignoring the fundamentals of the bottom line profitability that your actuarials, that your claims, your internal and external auditors. When I say external auditors, eventually you will learn that there is a cycle of reinsurers that we need to work with. So we are all accountable to all of them. So when I say that best possible aggressive offer does not mean that you cut the corners. So life application is the core and critical aspect of the entire process when we say life underwriting. Besides that, it is not just electronic version of the application or a piece of paper. It is something where there is a hope, there is an emotion wrapped up with that application. It is a contract, but there are feelings, love, emotion, sacrifice, the family ties. Someone is buying the insurance, common sense, not for him or her, but for the survivors, right? So handle with care. That's the point I'm trying to make here, my friends. I know many times nowadays they talk about elevator talk. Okay, you tell me, what is life underwriting? I would say, my friend, one word: to underwrite means to correlate. Got it? Make a note of it. To underwrite means to correlate. To correlate what? So as you review the life applications, any app you take, you can easily break it down into the 3 aspects. One is the financial aspects. So who is the insured, who is the owner payer, who is the beneficiary? Do you suspect anti-selection? Does agent oversold? Does financial aspects of the entire application make sense? I cannot buy the life insurance to make myself worth more dead than alive. Does age income parameter set by your company or the manual you follow, does it correlate with what the insurer or the agent is trying to sell or buy? These are the questions you should be asking. So one aspect in any life app that you will be underwriting refers to what we call financial aspect. The second aspect is medical underwriting. And as we know that one could be diabetic, one may admit on the application about history of stroke, Parkinson's disease, heart bypass, you name it, cancer, you name it. So that is the second aspect, the critical aspect in any life application that you will see. Likewise, the third and the important or the last aspect, last but not least, in the life application is residual underwriting. When I say residual underwriting, I mean that in the entire life application, everything besides financial and everything besides the medical is called residual or the remaining underwriting. So, for example, I could be admitting on the application the occupational hazard, there could be a foreign travel, there could be a foreign residency, there could be a mountain climbing, scuba diving, parachuting, hang gliding, you name it. There could be variety of scenarios that we may be confronted with while underwriting and doing the initial workup of the life application on a given day. So we need to be careful about what are the guidelines, what are the parameters that we need to follow based on our company specifics, based on our manual that company expects us to follow. So broadly speaking, make a note, any life app, you can break it down into these three aspects: financial, medical, and residual. So these are the three aspects when it comes to life underwriting. Now, as I was saying about the captive agent that you may be serving and or you may be serving the brokers. When it comes to captive agents, relatively speaking, the rules are straightforward. But when it comes to the brokers, many companies are out there. There was a recent release from NAIC, thousands of companies are out there and they compete amongst each other. So we want to weigh both the green and the red flags of the entire case. We want to see the best we can do without compromising the profitability or bottom line mortality or the claims experience that we see time to time. That poses the assumptions, the price calculations, so without compromising those. So when it comes to the broker's channel, we need to be very, very vigilant about all those green and the red flags. And many companies are giving credits for what they call healthy credits or table savings. Different nomenclatures are being used by the different companies, but simply speaking, those are the green flags that they try to see within the profile of the individual. If there are favorable factors, they will try to be more aggressive. That's the take-home message about that aspect of the discussion. So take a pause and ask this question. So what do we say? Is life underwriting an art or science? So up to a point, life underwriting is an art, because take any manual. No matter what company you work for, any manual that your company tells you to use, you will see IC, meaning individual consideration, or RMD, refer to medical director. So there is always an element of judgment. However, it is true only up to a point. Likewise, life underwriting is also a science. So we are dealing with law of large number. Our actuarials, our claims folks, our senior management team in any company you may be working for, they work day and night to be as competitive as they can, yet without disturbing the bottom line profitability. So we need to strike the balance. So life underwriting in a way is a blend of both art as well as science. So remember this, that you will be doing throughout your career. So I have given this presentation series a title called Intro to Individual Life Underwriting. This is just the intro, and what we will do, we will try to follow the concept that we call deeper the thought, simpler the language. I know you are not a CPA or a financial advisor that you can understand the financials of the entire life underwriting. You are not the doctors, you are not a neuro or cardio, so you may not be able to grasp all the anatomy and physiology. And likewise, sky is the limit when it comes to residual underwriting. But I will make an attempt to make sure that I keep it short and simple, and I'll try to follow deeper the thought, simpler the language. So this is just to give an overview of what is life underwriting, and once we meet, I am going to start with financial underwriting, and we will go with financial underwriting and we will go from there. Until then, see you. Take care. Bye now.